All right, guys, welcome to the DC event number 6. I did forget to charge my darn Sony camera, so there's not going to be any zoom today, but or a great sound for that matter. So bear with me. All right, so right here we're going to go ahead and start. We're going to go ahead and walk the course. Now, with this one, since it's just a starting kind of offset left to right coming down the hill, I'm going to go ahead and start over here on the right side of the start point, and we're going to accelerate up. So with this one, not too worried about getting really close on the first cone, which is the start cone where the lights are tripping. I'm mainly just worried about backsiding this cone here. And really, you don't even got to backside that much, you just got to get through here. What you're worried about is the angle making this right-hander. So if I try to drive all the way up to this cone right here, then my angle making that right is going to be a little bit harder than 9 degrees. So what I want to do first is actually come up the hill and make sure that I'm pointed straight up at least, at the minimum. And then this becomes just a nice 90-degree arc right here, and then just a nice sweeping turn. So as we get up close to this guy, sweep it around, depending on your car, just get on the gas a little bit to kind of just come up the hill a bit, because as you can see, the next element is actually a left-hander that's going go up the hill. So I don't want to start climbing too far up this hill and adding distance. I do want to go ahead and get pointed downhill though. So cut my distance, get close to this cone, notice my angle, start pointing downhill. Now there's no reason to add a bunch of distance, because there's nothing to actually gain anywhere from the start all the way to here. So just cut distance. Alright, as we come around here, you can see that's just one big left-hand sweeper. Over there where Jen and Michelle is, it's going into a set of what looks to be offsets. So I'm just going to cut the distance here. Again, the course is falling off, so I am not going to try and add any distance whatsoever, because it's just going to bite me more and more. If you're offline here versus down here on the hill, you may think, oh, this isn't bad at all. You know, it'll set me up for that guy. Well, actually, you're just going to keep sliding down the hill and adding more and more distance. Here, if you just continue to stay nice and tight, notice that the next turn where that double pointer is, it's actually keeping us on the right side of the cone. So we're actually going to continue to sweep all the way around. So even if we stay nice and tight, so even if we're nice and tight here, we'll get a nice steady arc to go ahead and fit between these two double cones. So we'll be on the right side of the cone, fitting right into that little pincher. And then it looks like it's a nice little high-speed lane change in the middle of the course there, which should be fun. So here, just cut your distance everywhere, keep nice and tight, climb up the hill full throttle. So you should actually be on the throttle by the time you get to that triple pointer. Just before you get to that triple pointer, you should already be on the throttle full force. All right, so as we come up here, the first cone is kind of a pincher, but we have about 100 feet before we can, before we actually have to backside that, or at least get through it. So again, I'm just going to cut distance, come up on this cone. Since this one is a 90-degree turn, or a little bit softer, about a 80-75, all you probably need is just a slight lift on entry, slight breather to load the car, so that way you can get it nice and turned in. What you don't necessarily want is that you don't want to carry all your speed all the way up the hill up here. You know, we do want to kind of point in this gap so we can maximize the throttle straight ahead and just get through this lane change. If you start going up the hill, then one, you're adding distance along with that you may not be on the throttle the entire time because you're fighting to come back. Alright, so right now, just a little lane change, get through here. You can see that the next one coming up is a right-hander going up the hill that's pinching us, but we have about 25 feet before our next actual element. So as we come through here, notice that I'm adding a little bit of distance down the hill so that way I can soften up this angle as much as possible. Since that's a hard 90 degrees, I'm just going to try and make this 80, 75, anything that I can, just by going downhill just a bit, so that way I can then charge back up this hill. Note, there is a slope, so what you want to do is try and hit this cone knowing that you won't. So as we start climbing up this hill, it's gonna force you to add a little bit of distance, but try and stay disciplined. Don't start trailing over here. As you can see, that's gonna force you to do that at times. You're not gonna really get a good payoff there. So try and stay disciplined, stay tight on that cone so you can jog up the hill full throttle and be in a better position for this little offset right here. So this is one of the technical spots on the course, and it's all about position. I do like this one because it's going to kill a lot of people, in the sense of that they're going to just dive bomb into this open area here. So as you come up the hill, stay tight. Again, it's just a set of offsets to a right-hand sweeper. Nothing to really gain here, but a lot to lose based off of positioning. So as you can see, the next element up top is actually going to be an area where you have to stay out to the left. So it's a nice sweeper here. So as we come up the hill, remember this crest will work against you, because what's going to happen is as soon as you come over this crest, the car is going to unload. You're going to start to understeer and oversteer depending on your throttle application. So as we get up here, I just want to try and stay tight to this cone, knowing that this crest is going to throw me off. Going to continue to sweep around from this triple to the next triple, or this triple standing to this triple down. I have some room, but I still want to get the car positioned well. This course is actually pretty nice and different because we're using different parts of the lot than we normally use. So as you wrap around this guy, this is going to be about positioning. Again, there isn't much to kind of goose right here, but if you goose it too much and you end up too far out, say for instance that triple, if you don't hug that triple and you're all the way over here, look how you got to fight back. If you stay disciplined and make sure that you stay tight on that cone, then you'll be able to get in the better position for this slalom coming up. So this one looks like a evenly spaced slalom, slightly offset on entry in your favor, so you can come here and attack. So try and backside this cone knowing that it's falling off. So with it falling off, your position is gonna be important, and this is just payday right here. So right now, I didn't pace it, but I have a feeling that this is pretty darn fast. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jog it out. Camera's going to be shaking a little bit, but we'll go ahead and finish up here. So, just a slalom, we got a left-hander going up the hill. So as soon as we get to this triple, we want to get our position. So slow the car down. Yes, there's time to recover, but it's a high-speed section right afterwards, a high-speed right-hander. So what we want to do is stay tight, stay disciplined, and start maximizing our acceleration through this area. Woo! Jog it out. Jog it out. Jog it out. Jog it out. Alright, so as we come around here, high speed, right-hander, all open for you, all throttle. Gonna go ahead, add some distance up top here, just so I can soften up this right-hander. Go ahead and take this nice and tight, wrap it around, adding some arc. Again, just the backside this cone, as I say, late apex. make my charge down towards the grass here. And I can see that there's a nice high-speed slalom coming up. So I'm just going to stay nice and tight in here, stay disciplined. I can actually track out a bit so you can carry some speed here, knowing that it's falling off. But you can keep some speed down here, because even if you're lined up, you have some time to recover. So from here, just get in position, another lane change, backside, and then accelerate out towards the last part there. Come out with the left-hander. So there isn't a bunch of true slaloms, there's just a bunch of lane changes. When I say lane change, to me, all I have to do is make two maneuvers, a left and right or right and left, just to get through. So that's only 3 cones. From there, it's a park it hard on the offset to the finish. So let me jog it out because they're starting the meeting. Park it, turn it in, accelerate out, and get closest to the right. So I'm not going to walk all the way through just because the meeting started and I need to get off course. So that's it, folks. It's a nice mixture of some sweepers and lane changes, good higher speed stuff, but still technical. And it's all about the positioning here. So don't forget, in autocross, yeah, you want to go flat out in as many spots as possible, but the problem is that you don't want to sacrifice your position. And that's what a lot of people end up doing, is that, oh yeah, I can get on the throttle here. But the thing is, if you mess up your entry, you're going to screw up your exit. So what you want to focus on is always your exit, and that's where you're going to maximize your time. So keep that in mind. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Going to go over to the drivers meeting, and thanks to WDCR for the sponsorship this year, along with Agile Auto and Apex Junkie. Thanks, guys.